The untold story of MrBeast. How he went from broke teenager to YouTube's biggest philanthropist and business mogul. There's this guy named Jimmy Donaldson, or MrBeast as he's known on the internet. And by all accounts, the guy is doing just about as well as one could do in life. He's young, good-looking, rich beyond his wildest dreams, and probably has more fun than anyone else in the world. But that wasn't always the case. Because as it turns out, not too long ago, he was actually broke. In fact, there was a period in Jimmy's life when he was so broke, he literally had only $1 in his bank account. But that didn't stop him from pursuing his dreams. In 2015, Jimmy took out a loan from his parents and dropped everything to start his own business. At first, things were tough. He made a few mistakes along the way and lost a lot of money. But he eventually found his footing and the business began to take off. Today, Jimmy's net worth is estimated to be at least $50 million. And to put into perspective, just 5 years ago, he had less than $1 in his bank account. So what happened? How did Jimmy go from being broke to becoming one of the most successful entrepreneurs of his generation? Well, that's what we'll investigate in today's video. How did MrBeast become so successful? If you ask me, there are 3 reasons why Jimmy became so successful. First, he was willing to take risks. Second, he knew how to save money. And third, he worked incredibly hard. Reason no. 1. He was willing to take risks. It's no secret that the vast majority of millionaires and billionaires got that way through entrepreneurship. That means starting a business and taking risks. This is something that most people aren't willing to do because they're scared. They're scared of failing, of losing everything, of disappointing their families. But Jimmy wasn't like most people. When he decided to drop out of college and pursue his dream of becoming a full-time YouTuber, he knew that he might never make it. But he was willing to take the risk because he believed in himself. And it paid off. Reason no. 2. He knew how to save money. While Jimmy was taking big risks with his money, he was also very smart about saving money. You see, even though Jimmy was making a decent amount of money with his first business, he didn't have much to show for it because he was spending almost everything he made. But once he started making real money with his second business, he began saving a portion of everything he made. And that allowed him to live a lavish lifestyle, while still being able to invest in new opportunities. And reason no! 3. He worked extremely hard. Of course, the final reason why Jimmy was able to become so successful is because he worked incredibly hard. While other kids his age were out partying every weekend, Jimmy was working on his craft. He would spend hours upon hours editing videos and coming up with new ideas. And that hard work paid off. So those are the 3 reasons why Jimmy was able to become so successful. Now let us take a closer look at each of those reasons and see how they apply to Jimmy's life. Reason no. 1. He was willing to take risks. As we mentioned earlier, Jimmy was willing to take risks both with his personal life and with his finances. For example, when he decided to drop out of college to pursue his dream of becoming a full-time YouTuber, he was taking a big risk. There's no guarantee that he would have been successful. In fact, most people who try to become full-time YouTubers fail. But Jimmy was willing to take the risk because he believed in himself. Similarly, when Jimmy began investing in real estate, he was taking a big risk. Real estate can be a great investment, but it's also risky. There's no guarantee that you'll be able to sell a property for a profit. But Jimmy was willing to take the risk because he believed that it was worth it. And as it turns out, he was right. Reason no. 2. He knew how to save money. One of the biggest mistakes that many young people make is that they spend all of their money as soon as they make it. They don't understand the importance of saving money and investing it wisely. But Jimmy understood this concept early on. Even though he was making a decent amount of money with his first business, he didn't have much to show for it because he was spending almost everything he made. But once he started making real money with his second business, he began saving a portion of everything he made. And that allowed him to live a lavish lifestyle while still being able to invest in new opportunities. Reason no. 3. He worked extremely hard. Finally, the last reason why Jimmy was able to become so successful is because he worked incredibly hard. While other kids his age were out partying every weekend, Jimmy was working on his craft. He would spend hours upon hours editing videos and coming up with new ideas. And that hard work paid off. Today, Jimmy is one of the most successful YouTubers in the world. He has over 10 million subscribers, and his videos have been viewed over 1 billion times. But Jimmy doesn't just have success on YouTube. He's also a successful businessman. He has a net worth of $50 million, and he owns several businesses. So those are the 3 reasons why Jimmy was able to become so successful. He was willing to take risks. He knew how to save money, and he worked incredibly hard. But there's a 4th reason why Jimmy was able to become so successful. This one isn't as tangible as the others, but it's arguably the most important. Jimmy has an incredible support system. Jimmy was lucky to have parents who supported him even when he dropped out of college to pursue his dream of becoming a full-time YouTuber. He also has a great group of friends who have supported him throughout his journey. And of course, he has his girlfriend, who has been by his side through thick and thin. All of these people have played a role in Jimmy's success. They've offered him emotional support, practical help, and sound advice. Without them, Jimmy wouldn't be where he is today. In conclusion, Jimmy's story is an example to us all that if we set our minds to something, we can achieve it. Of course, Jimmy is an exceptional person, and he has a lot of qualities that helped him become successful. However, his story isn't some fairy tale where he just magically became successful overnight. It was through hard work, determination, and a little bit of luck that Jimmy was able to achieve his dreams. Now, as for how exactly Jimmy spends his days, it's pretty simple. He wakes up early, works on his various businesses, and spends time with his friends and family. Despite his busy schedule, Jimmy is always able to find time for the things that are important to him. He knows the importance of balance, and he is always able to find a way to make it work. If there's one thing that we can learn from Jimmy, it is that it is possible to achieve your dreams if you are willing to work hard and never give up. So, if you have a dream that you're chasing, don't give up on it. Keep working hard, and eventually you'll achieve your goals. Who knows, maybe one day you'll be the next MrBeast. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. We'll catch you in the next one.